Receiving schools, here is a reference for today's lesson. Your strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and your reference.
Good morning, 8C, school students and teachers.
Good morning, Ms. Irma.
Thank you. You may sit down. All right. 8Cs and receiving students. In our previous lesson, you were to drop a timeline, okay, in which we got your exercise books to correct. I hope the teachers also corrected your timeline. All right. So, just the timeline. So you either drew your timeline horizontally or vertically, okay? So, like I said, you were to have a title for your timeline. Some of you did not write up your title for your timeline, but make sure that if you're drawing up a timeline, you must have a title. So I know some of you put other titles, but I got this History of Australia. Anyway, the three important events that was in not 1601, but 1606. Okay, 1606, 1770, and 1901. Okay. Caroline, what happened in 1606? Again, just read it out to the receiving students.
In 1606, first European settlers arrived in Australia.
Okay, in 1606, and then you put, all right, a dot or just a stroke, 1606, estimate. First European settlers arrived in Australia. Okay, the next event was Captain James Cook came the eastern coast of Australia for the King of England. It was in 1770, so 1700, in between 1800, you estimate 1770. That's it. And the last event, 1901, settlements became states and formed one country, 1901. So your timeline should just look something like this. Okay, 8Cs and receiving students. All right. Now, before we go on with our topic, 8Cs and receiving students, we're going to have there will be a drama, okay? A drama by some of our students, receiving students. All right, so they're going to perform this drama, and that drama will lead up to the topic for today's lesson. So 8Cs and receiving students, I hope you enjoy this short drama. Are you going to sit down? Hello? You going to sit down? Okay, both sit down. Okay, you read out the first. Yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah.
The old men are sitting down quietly and having their discussion. Along comes young boys who plan to do something. They plan to get drunk and go to a party. The old man get angry at the young boys.
You can't talk first. Talk.
Morning radio hai, you miss pakai. You miss pakai, oi. Morning radio hai, morning radio, oi.
Ibu baru si 6 pasti main.
6 people only me panci hai, you sune me. Madri ne.
Ini name staff ya. Ini
Morning me, you me text tamu nas. Oi, api boleh me, oi.
Yeah, what's wrong with your radio? You stop it.
Oi, why we going in me, oi? Oi, oi, oi. You me text, also one me, oi. Kili me era man, la dinse.
And then they tell them to go to the city to look for enjoyment.
People go stop nama town go spark all mass people. No can spark.
Okay.
Beli botol Red Bull.
That's all. Okay, you say that's all. Okay, yeah, what happened? Okay, eighth season receiving series. That drama was it was about like old men in the village or people in the village, and like they go about doing their business or their activities, and like youths, okay, young boys coming and they start drinking and then playing the music and dancing. Like the old men, they didn't want that, okay? They didn't want to hear music and all that. So they chased them away. They told them to go. Or to go to town and look for enjoyment in town. Because like at the village, they didn't want them to behave like that. Okay? So that drama there brings us to our topic on cultural changes. Some of the changes that takes place, in our culture today. For example, like what you just saw, values, okay? Like those young men, they didn't have any respect for the old men, you see? They got drunk, right? They made noise. It happens nowadays. In the village, when they get drunk, they turn their radio or their stereos on so loud and it disturbs, okay? That's one example of cultural changes. Language that we speak. Some of us, we don't know our language. Yes, some of us, we know our language. English, some of us speak fancy English, maybe, yes. Well, those are some changes, okay? Dressing, type of dressing, the way we dress nowadays, okay? What else? The music, sings and dances. Sometimes, they change, okay? So those are some changes that occur. You agree with what I've just said? Yes? All right. Okay. All right, can I have, yep, Daphne, give one each, please. One each, one to each group. One to each group. Okay, receiving students, can you have a paper each or A3 for each group? All right, each group has a paper, very good. Eileen, please, one each. Here, markers. There's 7 groups, right? Check. Okay, so these changes have, oh, what did I say, have? These changes have occurred due to some reasons. There are some reasons why these changes have occurred. Okay, you're going to work in each group. Okay, so I already have these changes already. What are some of the changes that have occurred in our culture? You're going to state the reasons why these changes have occurred. Okay, group 1, language. You're going to work on language. Okay, why have these changes occurred in language? The way we speak our language, or what we add extra onto our language. Are there any reasons why our language is changing nowadays? Or we are not speaking our language now, we are more into English. Okay, you think along that line. Language. Group 2, dressing. Okay, group 2, your dressing, the way you dress nowadays. Okay, any reasons why dressing is changing? Our dressing is changing nowadays. Okay, group 3, food, type of food we eat. Nowadays we look more into store foods, or sometimes restaurants. We don't have our traditional food any. Sometimes we don't eat more of our traditional food, but we have store foods and all that. Any changes? Okay, so you think along that line. Group 4, dancing and sing-sings. Dancing and sing-sings. Okay. Are we still practicing our dances and sing-sings? Are we still following the steps, or now some steps have changed, or the type of dressing, not traditional dressing, when we're supposed to dance and sing, we don't use that. Like some people, they wear shoes when they're dancing. They wear shoes or slippers, and they're not supposed to be wearing slippers or shoes when they're dancing, traditional dancing. Group 5, values. Receiving students, group 5, you also on values, like, for example, respect. Okay, respect for elder people, older people. All right. Any changes, any reasons why there's some changes in these values? Okay, group 6, music. Type of music that we hear nowadays. Okay. All right. Group 7, beliefs. Yeah, beliefs. Do you still practice your beliefs nowadays? So do you still believe in these things? Okay. And you state reasons why they're changing. These changes have occurred. Okay, so receiving students, each of these aspects of culture, you state the reasons why they have occurred. Why they have occurred. Oh, sorry, why there are changes in each of these. For A, I've already done that, right? So you can add some more, okay? You can add more onto that topic that you are working on, onto that aspect, like language. Try and write some more, add some more. If not, you can just present it up here, talk about it up here. So after you have finished your discussion, you're going to come up here. Each one of you will come up here and you will present or you will talk on that, on those changes. Okay, after you have discussed. Or like in language, what are some of the changes that have taken place in our language? Okay. What are some of the changes that have taken place in the way we dress? What are some of the changes that have taken place in the way we eat our food or the type of food that we eat? So please, time, make sure you, Okay, in our language, yes. Like for example, bottom. If you haven't finished, you can just write it down and explain up in front. Kumba. students, you finish, you go up to the board or to the front and you present your talk. Okay, thank you. Group 2 is ready, very good. Group 1, Group 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we'll start with this group that has finished first. Okay. Oh, you stand on that side. Okay. Okay, can I have everyone to listen, please?
State reasons why these changes have occurred. Since foreigners came into our country, they brought modern type of clothing. Example, instead of girls, women wearing wet met blouses or lap-laps, they wear short skirts and trousers with small tops on, and also put on makeup and change their hairstyles.
Talking about dressing, okay? Some of the changes that have taken place in our dressing today, it says here, type of clothing that we wear has changed. Instead of girls or women wear Mary blouse or lap-laps, they wear short skirts and trousers with small tops and makeup and the hairstyle and all that. So what was your reason? Because foreigners coming in, they brought this type of modern clothes. Is that your reason? Okay. All right, receiving students, I hope you have something else. Okay, good. Next group, please. Ready? All right, you others quiet, please. Okay, listen.
State reasons why these changes have occurred. Food. When the first white men came to our country, they brought their culture with them. People are now living a modern life and are buying food from stores as they can now grow their own food. People in rural areas cannot go hunting and so rely on food from the trade stores. People have discovered that it is easier to buy food from stores than to grow it themselves or to go hunting.
Okay, very good, netizen in your group. Okay, food. There are reasons for why food has changed, like we rely on store foods and all that. Because when the first white men came, they brought their culture with them. And now people are living a modern life and are buying food from stores as they cannot grow their own food. Right? Okay, next group, please. Quickly. Raymond, you come and stand here, please. Yeah, okay. Okay, loud.
What are some changes that have occurred in our language? Mixing our language with foreign language and pidgin, languages spoken in a fancy way or sometimes twisted. Reasons why changes have occurred in our language. Because languages have been influenced by Western culture.
You agree with some of these points Raymond has talked about, like language, some of our mixing language with mixing foreign language and pidgin. Languages are sometimes spoken in a fancy way, yes, or sometimes twisted. Okay, next group, please, quickly. Right, very good. Okay, you others, are they finished? You listen very carefully. Oh, you. Oh, Nakawas, you'll stand here. Okay, dancing and sing. Listen.
Dancing and sing. Dancing. People change the steps and the way they dress. Recent modern steps are put into traditional dancing. Instead of using bush materials, they use modern clothing to cover themselves. One example is lap. Sing. Instead of using traditional instruments, they use modern instrument. Example, guitar. The reason is because they want to follow Western types of music.
Okay. Okay, one example of one change in sing-sings. Instead of using traditional instruments like kundu or garmuts, they use what? Guitar. That's one, yeah? Guitar. Dancings, instead of wearing laps, what do they wear? Oh, sorry. Instead of wearing grass skirts, they wear laps. Yes? Or instead of using bush materials, they wear modern clothes. Okay, good. The next two groups, please. Or three groups. Yes. Okay, quickly. All right, you others quiet, please.
What are some of the changes that have occurred in our culture? One, lack of respect from young men towards older people. Younger people nowadays don't know how to do things traditionally. Example, build houses, make canoes, etc. These changes have occurred because of Western influences and some are also because of plain ignorance.
Okay, thank you. And the last group, please. Hey, can you get ready? All right, everyone listen. Look up to the front, please.
Music.
Loud.
Music. What are some of the changes that have occurred in our culture? Music. State reasons why these changes have occurred. Copy songs. The difference between music, example, people in the past sang about their culture, but nowadays people sing about love. Influence from foreigners, different instruments are more improved. People who are trying to be singers are influenced by other singers from their style of music.
Music. Okay, thank you. Music. Here it reads, listen, music, they copy songs. Okay. The differences between music, example, people in the past sang about their culture, but nowadays it's all about love, yes. Influence from foreigners. Different instruments and more improved. Okay, people who are trying to be singers are influenced by other singers, yeah, from their style of music. Okay, good. Last one, beliefs. Okay, quickly, Samuel. Okay, you move to this side. You go there. You come in. Okay, everyone sit up straight and look up to the front. Okay, loud, please.
State some recent states why this change have occurred. In Rabaul, example,
Okay, again.
state some reasons why this change have occurred. Example, in Rabaul, pregnant women are not allowed to eat pig meat in the night because if they do so, they might kill the baby. Nowadays, they don't practice this because they no longer believe in it. They want to follow the modern culture.
Okay, why don't they practice these beliefs? They don't practice it because they no longer believe in it. They want to follow modern culture. Okay. All right, so here, all right, like what you've just discussed in your groups, some of the different aspects of culture and some of the changes that have occurred in these cultures, in these aspects, sorry. So like we said, language, nowadays people don't know how to speak their own language now. Okay, instead of speaking their language, or when they go back home, the elder people speak language to them, to this, or to you, and what do you say to them? You speak in English. You do that. Okay, that's one example of some changes that have occurred. So, anyway, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. In our next lesson, we will have a debate. So, 8Cs and receiving students, can you get ready? I'll give you your topic of what you're going to be debating on. It's to do with changes in culture. Right. Oh, sorry. Wait. Oh. Okay, your topic, I've picked out one from dressing, okay? One from dressing. Okay, here. Is this okay? Receiving students, if you have a different topic, you can debate on any topic that you want to choose. Okay, women should not dress like men. Okay. Okay, women should not dress like men. But if you have any other topics you want to give, that's okay. But for the receiving students, like I said, if you have another topic you want to debate on, it's up to you. All right, so in our next lesson, you're going to have a debate. So you get your speakers ready, your chairperson and timekeeper, everyone ready for our next lesson. All right, and that brings us to the end of our lesson. 80s and receiving students, thank you very much for participating today. Thank you.
Teachers, here is your reference for the next lesson. your strand, substrand, outcome, the topic, materials, and your reference.